How do you tell if someone is attracted to you or just being very friendly? There's no good answer to that question. A million different people may give a million different signals / hints / signs that they are or are not interested in you romantically. What I found works for me and what I think is the kindest, least awkward way, both towards yourself and the other person, is to 1. Have some sort of consistently positive relationship / repeated interaction with them first, and then 2. In a light-hearted and friendly way, and without implying any kind of emotional pressure, just ask if they'd like to go on a date with you. Use the word date. If they say yes, congrats. They're into you at least enough to give it a shot and see where it goes. If they say no, for the love of all that is holy, don't take it as a personal insult. It probably isn't. Keep it light-hearted and take the refusal with grace. They aren't into you, and throwing a tantrum over it or trying to pressure them further isn't going to help them be into you whatsoever. Exactly this. Rejection should never be taken as a personal insult. Usually the realization comes 10 years later when you are trying to fall asleep. My cousin once told me, hey, remember my friend? She was pretty cute BTW? Yeah. She had a crush on you a few years back. Bitch, why the duck didn't you tell me then? Man. This hurts me deep. Insanely beautiful girl I was friends with in a group. I tell my friends I like her a lot. They tell her. She tells them she likes me a lot. They don't tell me. I know it's my fault for not making the move. But help your boy out, lol. Depends on where you live. Here in England, being anything other than cold and aloof is seen as basically throwing yourself at someone. Canadian who met some English guys. They all said I was insanely keen, and I didn't know what that meant. Learned later they thought my normal friendliness was obsessive flirtation, lol. Do they ever initiate the friendliness? Responding to someone else's kindness is a lot different than initiating it. But even still, the only sure way to know is to ask. There is a girl that I work with that has asked me to go spend the weekend with her in New York City, so I would assume that she's flirting / interested in me. I mean, she's kinda flirty with everyone. It just seems like it's more so with me. She always makes a point to talk to me when I walk by, and we're always making each other laugh anytime we talk. But I'm afraid of trying to make a move, as since I work with her, and she's way out of my league. As you / Rumple5Skins said, this reminds me of my other often repeated piece of advice. You are not the commissioner of her league. She decides whether you get to be in it or not. How can she do that without a chance to scout you? Go for it. If she's into you, cool. If not, you're just work colleagues. If you get an arranged marriage, it's a 50/50. Sheesh. Assuming the person is single or trifling, you ask to see that person again in a different context, and the negotiation for available time and date is quick and mutually complete. No just friends overtone about it. Thursday at 8, not available, not into you. Thursday at 8, not available, but what about Friday at 9? Else, look for physicality, proximity, and eye contact when totally unnecessary. Jealousy or defeat. It's subtle when interacting with someone else of the interested person's gender. Caveat all this with me being terrible about noticing it. My wife points this out to me when we are in public. Once I see it, it's obvious, but until then it's a mystery to me. If they act the exact same way with other people, you're out of luck. Or everybody's in luck. I see you've also met my ex. Edit. Jesus. For every one of you that ended up dating the town bicycle and didn't know it going in, my thoughts are with you in these trying times. Also, get tested. Someone tells you years later. They tell you years later, after you've moved hours away, and it turns out she never said anything because she thought you had feelings for her other friend who you didn't have feelings for. She was just sexually harassing you in the middle of English class. You need to have just got engaged the week before too. As my dear old dad used to say, women who work for tips are not flirting with you. We used to extend this to if she's being paid to talk to you. She's not interested. Apostrophe. Twitch. TV. By how they look at you or act around you vs other people. Difficult to gauge if you both are alone. Say in a concert or a trip. I was once called into hours for allegedly flirting with an employee, not part of my own team. Her proof, I was always friendly, offered her milk to go with her coffee, and worst of all, once at an after work, I bought a round of drinks for everyone, her included. The head of ours was a bit puzzled about the whole situation and asked her what would she then suggest we do to resolve the situation, and she requested that I would stop being friendly to her and just leave her be. This poor woman just could not accept that I was being friendly. Alright, can I get around for everyone? Everyone except Karen. Ha. Apostrophe. For real though, how soon would the accusations of bullying start? You don't. One person's just being friendly is another's take me to a hotel and duck me right now. He's right, you know. It depends on so many things. Unfortunately, dating is one of those things that can't be predicted because you can't generalize anything. For me, I flat out told him that I liked him, and if he asked me out I would say yes. He said thanks and never asked me out or responded in any way that he liked me back. Bummer. A few months later we kissed. He was like, so, you like me? I should have smacked him upside the head. Apparently he thought I just said that to him to be nice. TBH. If that happened to me, I'd do the exact same. Not from being unsure. Just would immediately panic and shut down all unnecessary functions, like emotions and witty responses. If they ask you to take off your clothes, chances are they're just being friendly. Our pants were soaking wet from walking in the rain. Got to her house. She gave me her joggers to wear so my jeans could dry. Literally got into her pants. Nothing happened. Shrug. Got into her pants. Not sure what all the ruckus is all about though. The pants were way too tight and were slowly squishing my balls. Like male pants a lot more. When I met my last girlfriend, our eyes met across a crowded dance floor. She rolled her eyes at me, so I picked them up and rolled them back. So what do you do if they have attached eyes? Roll mine to her. By reading someone's comment on Reddit about how they missed all the signs, and then you realize that the same thing happened to you, and now you lie there contemplating your life, but you still can't be sure. Yeah, maybe she's Canadian, and she's just being polite. If they are a cashier / waiter / clerk etc, don't get your hopes up. Waitress nice is a close cousin of stripper nice. Apostrophe. You're saying Sandy doesn't like me. We were really hitting it off though. Pro tip. You'll never know if you don't ask. Schrödinger's date. No, the stripper is not attracted to you. I beg to differ. I have a massive gravitational pull. But do you have thin sweatpants? That really drives them wild, you know. If she says WTF step bro, you were wrong. Actually that means you were right. Just like the simulations. Really, with some people you cannot tell. I knew a girl who was super friendly with me. I got interested. And then a few weeks around her I saw this was how she treated every guy. Smiles. Oh stop it you. Flirting. I wasn't special here. I moved on. I knew a girl who friendly with everyone. We sat down at a birthday party and talked non-stop for 3 hours. She was friendly with people, but I hadn't seen her do this before. I got her number and called her. We talked until my phone died. Our 10th wedding anniversary was about 6 weeks ago. Our oldest kid turned 7 in a few months. Are you sure she's into you? Seems too early to tell. Ask them. This is number 1. There was a waitress at a bar that my buddies and I had for like a year. I was into her, but couldn't tell how she felt. She was always fun and flirty, but I realized when she would first walk up to our table, laugh or make a joke, she would look at me. I assumed that meant there was at least a chance she liked me. So I asked her out, and she said yes. She was beautiful, had a great figure, and was super down to earth. She also turned out to be someone who loudly cheered at high points of movies, and I just don't need that in my life. We went our separate ways. I had this exact situation happen to me before, so I asked her out. She gave me her number and mentioned that she and her boyfriend were going to a funeral tomorrow, so she wouldn't be around. What kind of response was that? Question mark? Assume attraction and ask them out. If they say no, you get your answer. If they say yes, you get a date. Oh, that's easy. No one is ever attracted to me. You don't. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is. It's not always easy. With my fiance, when we started hanging out I would convince myself she liked me and then talk myself out of it. I would walk her home and she'd give me a really awkward friend hug then run inside, leaving me feeling like I'd misread the signals completely. This went on for about 3 weeks before we finally kissed at a party. I asked her about it afterwards and it turns out she was doing the same thing. 7 years and a proposal later, I think she might have a crush on me. Guys, I dunno, man. In high school I went to a dance with a guy's friends and then he kissed me as friends and then we brutally ducked behind the gym as friends and we've been dating as friends for about 7 years and we are getting married next week as friends plus I'm knocked up with his babies as friends. You can never really know, man. Some people are in it for the long con. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below.